Irithyll is where all the toughest ganks are, and as an invader you need to be the most prepared for. And wait, is that a bleed infusion? I should go ahead and say that the reason this video is so long is because, you know, I've been gone for a couple weeks, and I didn't go a single day without thinking, you know, I really wish, you know, I could upload today.
Hello. It's nice to see you here again. Over the past couple months, I've tried making multiple videos on other games that I really deeply enjoy, but every single video idea I had for them I just ended up scrapping. I've just very much lacked the enthusiasm of making videos here recently. However, I find myself coming back to Dark Souls 3, and it just seems that the more time I spend away from this game, the more I realize I love it. So, with my return this time, I bring to you an homage to my favorite memories that I've had with this game and my favorite build in all of the Souls series. This hollow build, I'm pretty proud of the stats on it, and it is very versatile. Maybe it'll inspire you to do something with it. Oh, what's over here? Okay, that's pretty cool. And what's the thrusting? Okay, well that just seems out of bad taste. Okay, we've got a little bit of poison action. Oh, okay, now we're talking. Oh my god. Yes, the amount of times that I've run through this game to get all the slabs I need is kind of disappointing. Well, if that's how you look at it, at least. Needless to say, I'm pretty proud.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Off to hang myself.
Fuck him up!
Mission impossible? Not at all, because of her third superpower.
CJ has a great lance.
And there we go. However, we still have bigger fish to fry.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Excuse me, what the fuck?
Who the fuck are you? No, please, anything but that. Are you serious? I haven't done that for like 2 years. Fine. Fine, I'll take you up on your damn challenge. Hey you. Yeah, that's right, you. I heard from a particular someone that you wanted to get better with the Great Lance, and if you're gonna do that, you need to know about how important its shield poke is to its overall move pool. For most weapons that get a shield poke, it's just a welcome part of their arsenal. However, for the Great Lance, it is a beyond important part of what makes up its move pool. For starters, we need to look at how big of a difference there is between the speed of its R1 and its shield poke. Just look at the comparison between the Great Lance and the S-Stock. It's almost half the speed of its normal R1. This speed difference does not go to waste, because you'll be needing it to throw off people that want to parry you, and those that just want to introduce themselves right on top of you when you otherwise don't want them to. Another thing to note is that the shield poke actually combos from a normal R1. When you're shield poking with the Great Lance, you need to make sure that you're doing so unlocked. And the reason is because when you're locked on and shield poke, you have no tracking whatsoever. So you need to make sure you're unlocked, despite how difficult it can be, so you have the best chance of hitting your opponent. If you're used to using crossbows, this will make quite a bit of sense to you. Lastly, you should know that when unlocked, you're able to switch around your opponent in the first couple frames of a shield poke extremely fast, and it takes off what is otherwise a pretty telegraphed attack and makes it much less so. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Wasting My Time. I'll see you in 2 years when I make the next episode. So you want to get better? This segment is all about mistakes. This is all recorded from about a day's worth of invasions, but I've come to realize, having not done invasions for so long, that I really miss them and didn't know I did, because, my goodness, there's something so fun about it that any invader here knows what I'm talking about. So this man that we invaded, I actually lost a couple things of footage of me fighting him because my recording device was being wanky. I don't know why. But he looks unassuming at first, but then you see him move, and you're like, uh-oh, we've got a really good player on our hands. So immediately, I don't know if you saw that, but that was a reverse roll. Between his backstab fishes, his weapon swaps, and his reverse rolls, you can already tell that this guy knows a thing or two about the game. So I'm changing how I approach this, but it won't come in play for too terribly long because this guy's talented. So he messes up there, and I get the backstab. But with an advantage like that, that was a fantastic block by him. Such a good idea. GG's. So, something that I've thought about for quite a while, since not having touched the game for almost half a year, is I really, really want to be able to host more, but as a... Ouch. But as a solo host, because I think it's really important if you were to think about it as like the invasion economy. That's how I think of it. And being a host is so important to keeping the game alive, because for some reason, every single Dark Souls game, except sort of Dark Souls 2, has this extremely annoying thing that we all know about, where you can't get invaded, actually invaded, once you've beaten the boss in a world. And I sort of see the idea behind a change like that, but it really detracts from the longevity of the game, and people that don't necessarily think about that they wouldn't even think about that. So I began hosting after having invaded for a while, because I think it's really fun to get a whole bunch of people into my world. And especially here in Pontiff, over the past couple months, I've seen how a lot of invaders' opinion on this area has really deteriorated because of ganks that abuse glitches and stuff of the sort. And not only do I want to invest in the invasion economy, but I also want to make a fun invasion for people. And that's also why I'm wearing Way of the Blue, actually, because I never am a Dark Moon or something of that matter. But if I was, and I got summoned, I would be so happy. I would be ecstatic that I actually got summoned. So I know that a lot of people that wear the Way of Blue are doing it because they can't play through the game. I'm doing it because I want everyone to see as much action as possible, and I'm trying to make it as interesting as I can for people. Now, actually, in this one right here, I actually named this footage Lessons to Learn, because I, having not done anything invasion-wise for a while, I got very nervous and stressed over the course of having so many people on me at one time. And one of the things that I immediately did wrong throughout this play session was I wasn't managing my stamina near as much as I should have. And right there is the first rolling attack of many that you'll see. What I was trying to do was pivot R1, or I was trying to do a backstab. It depends on which situation it is. But I get very, very nervous at times. And, you know, when you're nervous, you start playing not as well. And even though there's literally a Grim Reaper cosplay in my world, he's still messing me up because I'm just not capitalizing on the advantages I could take from this situation. And something, I want to talk about the Great Lance in Invasion specifically, but I also want to have sort of a disclaimer saying that just because of what I say about the Great Lance does not mean that that is objective fact for everyone that uses the Great Lance in Invasions. It's just, for me, as of my current skill level with the game, it is what's true for me. And having played what I think as of right now, in terms of what I can accomplish, I think that the Great Lance can really, really do well in situations where the invasion slows down. But there are times where, similar to this right here, I'm trying to stay on the Great Lance. But I would, if I wasn't challenging myself to do that, I would really, really like to switch to Heralds or a faster weapon or something. Because there are times where the Great Lance, for how unwieldy it can be, just becomes more unwieldy. It's definitely a weapon that, it has an amazing Estus Punish, and it's essentially an ultra greatsword-ish speed weapon that has a very fast backstab animation. So those are two really good advantages. But when it comes to its normal R1s and everything, that was a really good backstab. Yeah, it's throughout this entire play session, I got circle backstabbed, or people attempted to do it to me, a lot. And I think I can cover it better. I don't necessarily know how I will do that yet, but I think that the Great Lance is a weapon that, at least for me right now, is one that's going to need support from other tools in my arsenal, like weapon swapping to Exiles, Lothric Knight Greatsword, Herald, stuff like that, to catch my opponent off guard, because something that I've come to really realize is that no one respects the Great Lance. Ooh, that was a huge mess up for me. I did not pay attention to my FP bar. I tried to poise Estus Flask right there, and that was another huge mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, that guy just threw a dual charm. That's really funny. That's not the right charm to keep me from chugging Estus. Yeah, I'm just giving my opponents a lot of chances to backstab me, and that is something you should keep to an absolute minimum. Yep, there they go. I think it's actually kind of funny. I wouldn't have it any other way, but how relentless invaders are, even when I'm a solo host. I mean, I prefer for them to be that way. They're doing their job correctly, but it's just... I look at it from the situation that I am an invader, and I feel like I'm doing a service for people, because especially post-Pontiff is just filled with a whole bunch of... what's the word I'm looking for? Glitch-abusing cheaters. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that exists, and there's a lot of people that don't like it. So, even though I hold no grudge against any invader that has 1v3'd me, thrown shit and pointed down on me when I die, I find it interesting, the treatment that solo hosts get, but, you know, that's just a bigger challenge for me. I want to make a point of what just happened right there. I intentionally kept that giant alive because I knew that it was able to hit invaders, so it does two things for me if I'm vigilant. It acts almost like a pillar or a tree in the forest to hide behind, but it also is able to hit invaders. It's able to hit me too, and it just did. But I think that's something that made this, hopefully, that made this invasion session for other players more interesting, because that's just what I'm trying to achieve for other people. Because I just think really the only thing that annoys me about this game are people that go out of their way to make you mad. And that's something that's going to exist everywhere, but that's just not who I am, at least most of the time. So hopefully this was fun for people. So my blue died, but that is okay, because I have a very angry giant. And while he won't save me, he will... Uh-oh. See, that's another example of me not managing my stamina. I did do a little bit better this hosting session. I did not running attack near as many times. I hit a couple backstabs, if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't get backstabbed as many times. But these guys are doing a really good job, especially the spear user, of just making my life a living hell. How could I make this better for myself? Well, assuming that I'm not allowed to switch off of the Great Lance, I could really be capitalizing on their forward momentum to get a backstab on them. I could switch to Hornet's Ring. I don't remember if I did that. See, I've gone for a lot of backstab attempts, but I've missed every single one of them. That's something I can improve on. Something I've also got to do more is switching my rings, because I think for most of my hosting sessions... Ow! I think a lot of my hosting sessions, I didn't switch off of Life Ring and Lloyd's Shield Ring. Yeah, GG's to those guys. I don't think I took that off most of the time, so that's something I need to do. Funny thing, this is not an actual Phantom, it's an invader that thought it'd be funny to put on the white sign. And he was giving me embers, which is very helpful. Because something that is also important, this is by no means an obligation to people, but assuming that this video were to leave an impression on particular people to want to solo host, maybe invaders could, like, drop them an ember, and I mean, I guess I sound like a charity case, but it's just difficult because I go into doing this knowing that I'm going to die. At least as of the current moment, I'm not some crazy player that can do deathless runs for hours. I don't know, just paying respect to the hosts who care. I don't know, give me your opinion on that if you think that's a good or bad idea. Something I've also got to get down correctly is doing the Estus cancel. That was a example of a really good backstab by me. Thankfully to how lag works in Dark Souls 3, I was able to get hit, but the backstab still went through. Which is a known thing, and it's been known for a while, but that's just something very specific about how the game works. That Smo guy is doing a lot more harm than he is good to his friend over here. But yeah, I guess the thing to take away from this particular session is if you're going to use Great Lance and get hit by multiple people, absolutely take advantage of how fast the Great Lance's backstab is. It's got the same animation as Halberds, which is just a slightly worse version of that of, like, the rapier and the dagger, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Someone fact check me on that. But if you're getting over... Watch this. What the hell? But yeah, I'll have more making mistakes sections like this. Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. GG's. Well, if you made it to this point in the video, I want to say thank you for watching so much of this video. Thank you a whole bunch for that. But I also just wanted to mention that I really enjoyed working on this video. I've never put as much time as I have into a video except for this one. Other than my first video, but don't watch that one, it's cringy. I just want to continue making stuff about Dark Souls 3, because even though I have told myself that I'm going to leave this game in the dirt for such a long time, I am currently having more fun with it than I ever have. So from here on, I just want to make fun stuff involving the game, what I consider my personal skill point with the game at a given moment, and I just want to see how far I can take it before Elden Ring and everything else comes out. So leave your feedback on what you would like to expect of me, and if this sort of editing is something you're interested in. I took inspiration from a TF2 YouTuber called Swipes. Go check him out, super awesome stuff. And yeah, I hope to do more here in the future. I've been thinking about doing a video talking about how much I appreciate this game, because man, I think that we could really stand to give it a little bit of love. Alrighty, well, I'll see you guys next time, and I'm signing out.